The New York Post is reporting, and I went ahead and did some searches this afternoon because I don't trust Rupert Murdoch and the New York Post, and did confirm that the TSA across the country in different locales is asking for tips. When you go through the line, they approach you in some areas and tell you that things will go better if you give them money. If you don't give them money, well, then you get sent to an extra screening area. In fact, the New York Post reports that $5 was not enough, and so groping was then engaged in. So normally you would go to a brothel to pay to have your Johnson fondled. Now you have to pay them not to fondle you. This in land of the free, home of the brave. There's really no end to this. I mean, every day there's things coming out that even shock me. I mean, I think I'm ready for it all, and it's always topped. Oh, $5 isn't enough. Groping, microwave ovens. Pretty soon it's like suitcases of cash to travel. Listen, I don't want to be microwaved or have you grab my genitals. Here's $5,000. Not enough. So we've got the Mexican cartels threatening football teams that can't come up here and play games in the U.S. now. In U.S., Mexican football games, they don't pay $30,000. Well, I mean, hell, the TSA's got that beat. If you don't go along with what they say, they'll break a few eggs, as they say, a few huevos. So we've got that report here. You cannot make that up. But don't worry. The new national security force that the White House is announcing is going to be on the streets of America has announced that 2/3 of the time they think it's accurate, and that at sports stadiums, shopping malls, airports, they're going to make you step in front of a camera that face scans you, and then it supposedly can decide if you're a terrorist or not. Isn't about actually committing crimes or having associations with CIA terrorists, because all Al-Qaeda is on record. No, they just say, well, the machine says you're a terrorist. Goodbye, take him away. And we're seeing more and more of this across not just the U.S., but across the world, where we've proven the old-fashioned lie detector systems are a scam. So now they're moving on to new forms of quackery. And they're like, hey, the computer says so. It's over. You can't fly. You're a terrorist. And if you think that's bad, don't worry. Al-Qaeda chief Ayman al-Zawahiri is taking credit for the Arab Spring all over the Middle East, the rebellions, the overthrows of old Western dictators. And, that's got to warm your heart a little bit. The known CIA operative, along with Ammar al-Awlaki, who died secretly at the Pentagon. Just listen to that music. They've been given Libya now and missiles and billions of dollars. And they're taking credit for the Arab Spring that the West has been supporting. And if you're not for Al-Qaeda taking over the Middle East, well, you're just not patriotic. So I'll say again for InfoWars Nightly News, if patriotism means worshiping Al-Qaeda, I'm not patriotic. I'll have to apologize right there. Now, let's go ahead and shift gears from the Arab Spring and the Swiss yodel that he's doing there, and move on to something a little closer to the United States. And that is the Snoop Society. And I talked about this earlier. Every time I think I can't be shocked, I am. They have new snooping organizations where they tell you to call the police on people who have their lights on past 7 o'clock at night in the winter. And, of course, I pointed out to this website earlier this year. I sent them an email, and I said, a lot of people work past 7 or 8 o'clock in their business, like we're doing here right now. Our lights are on in the office. Does that mean we're thought criminals? And so I want to go through a couple of examples of this Snoop Society, because the White House has now come out through one of their attack groups and funded a new organization, Attack Watch. And Attack Watch says anybody criticizing Obama, they imply you're a criminal, and they give you different ways on the internet to go out then and basically attack anybody criticizing Obama, as if it's illegal and wrong to disagree with all of the horrible things, torture, secret arrest, making his buddies exempt from regulations he rams through. If you do that, you're a bad person, according to Attack Watch. And we're going to get more into that later, but I thought I would remind you, this is nothing new in our little Orwellian journey. If you go back to 3.5 years ago during the campaign in Missouri and a bunch of other states, they had police and others on TV saying, listen, if you criticize the president and say things about him that aren't true, he isn't a Christian, or he's going to raise your taxes, which he has now done, we're going to arrest you. Well, even if somebody's wrong about something and they weren't, they were right, it's your First Amendment right. So this was all part of an intimidation tactic. Let's play that clip.
Senator Barack Obama's presidential campaign is asking Missouri law enforcement to target anyone who lies or runs a misleading television ad during the presidential campaign. This first John Mills is live at the county election board in Maplewood. He's been learning more about which members of law enforcement are getting involved in this. John, tell us more about this.
Russell, good evening. Prosecutors and sheriffs from across Missouri are joining something called the Barack Obama Truth Squad. 2 high-profile prosecutors are part of the team. We met them this afternoon in the Central West End. They are Jennifer Joyce from the city, Bob McCullough, the St. Louis County prosecuting attorney. They will be reminding voters that Barack Obama is a Christian who wants to cut taxes for anyone making less than $250,000 a year.
President Obama today proposed something new, something called prolonged detention. Pre-crime is where people are arrested and incarcerated to prevent crimes that they have not yet committed.
By the way, that clip of Rachel Maddow is from a couple years ago when Obama first got in. I've talked to different MSNBC hosts, and some have gone public, saying that if they criticize Obama in any way, they're fired. And so you notice now she won't criticize Obama. She wanted to keep her job and take her 30 pieces of silver. The Young Turks guy, he had to bail. Look, whether you're conservative, liberal, or outside of that little box, you should really stand for what you stand for and not be a hypocrite. But yes, the president is pushing secret arrest for citizens, you name it. Now, this next little clip is EcoSnoop. Talk about creepy. This is what I was talking about earlier. On this website, it was like, look at this gas station, their lights are on during the day. And it showed like this super foggy, dark day, and of course their lights are on for the cars to pull in. This idea that just normal human activity is illegal and bad, and you've got to pay Al Gore some money or the Earth's going to die. Let's go at, yeah, in fact, there's the gas station photo right there. It's almost completely dark, and they're like, report on them. Look, they've got their lights on during the day. The day, what is that, like 5:30 a.m., right as the sun's starting to come up? Whatever, let's go ahead and go to the info babe, relishing, just totally getting off on, oh, you can snoop on people. It's so much fun. They didn't like Nazi Germany or Soviet Russia or East Germany. No, it's cool and sexy to be a snoop. Get involved in it today. The system is training us to relish and worship snooping and tattling, but they never want you to go after actual corruption. They want you at each other's throats. On this Snoop website that they teach school kids here in the U.S., we've confirmed, they say if someone's yard and landscaping isn't perfectly trimmed, call the police on them. Again, they want to get us all at each other's throats while the foreign banks rape the hell out of us. Here is the EcoSnoop tyrant clip.
Through EcoSnoop, the feet on the street environmentalist can tag and report environmental issues wherever they go. Let's try it out. Let's say we are walking past that same building with its lights on again, except this time we have EcoSnoop on our iPhone. Simply open EcoSnoop and snap a photo of the offense.
Oh.
Using GPS, EcoSnoop will tag the location of the
My
case
IQ
so
is
that
about
other
70.
EcoSnoopers can monitor the issue and help make the
I'm an
business person
authoritarian,
more
trendy
aware.
liberal.
Homeland security begins with hometown security. That's why I'm pleased that Walmart is helping to make
This
our
actually happens in
more
Walmart.
safe
Mr.
and
Napolitano.
secure. If you see something suspicious in the parking lot or in the store, say something immediately.
Well, I'm glad that Mr. Napolitano is on the job. 9,000 plus locations, Mall of America, Walmart, you name it. Now you can't escape government bombardment of information. You've got her up there saying, don't trust your neighbors, don't trust anybody. Don't we have one more clip of the whole see something, say something garbage? These ads are just everywhere about, and now on 9/11, there were 50 plus planes grounded. People would get to go to the bathroom, everyone would panic, or a box would fly on the back of a pickup truck, they'd shut down major interstates. This is invoking hysteria, land of the coward, home of the slave, to where now a piece of paper blows on the road and the public's like, ah! Help me, take my rights, foreign banks rape me, ban free speech, there's a cardboard box, save me, government. Meanwhile, the government is a bunch of criminals bringing in narcotics who stage the attacks. What do you expect from terrorists? Here's the final clip.
Maybe you see something suspicious, but you don't want to get involved. It's nothing, you think. Can you be sure? If you see something, say something.
And of course, now they have Attack Watch. And they say that if you criticize anything Obama's doing, that it's basically evil and horrible, and that you need to sign up with them to, like, in swarms of Obama bots who feel all trendy, that don't know they're working for Goldman Sachs. You go out and attack anybody that doesn't 110% go along with them.